Quick disclaimer, this is a boring video about orbital mechanics and a hypothetical mission to Duna or Mars. It is not a how-to on how to play Kerbal Space Program. Okay, so we've lifted off from the launch pad and we are already entering a period of max Q or max forces, and we have stage separation of the SRBs. We are now looking at our orbital graph here. We have turned our rocket sideways and we are going really fast to reach low Earth orbit. Looking at the neighborhood, we have the Mun, which is it's like our moon, and Minimus, which is another moon that Kerbal has, which is our Earth. Looking over here, we have Duna, which is our Mars sort of heavenly body. We are going to do something we cannot do in real life, which is make time go really fast so that we can align our planet with our target planet. Astronauts would die if we did this in real life. We have adjusted our orbital mechanics. We have made our burn. We are approaching Duna very quickly, but we did not have a good approach. We had to make some minor adjustments. Now we are in orbit. So we have an escape at the end of this orbit. So right now we would just do a quick flyby, similar to what the Artemis 2 mission did with the moon. So we still need to burn retrograde to slow down and actually be captured by Duna, which is exactly what we're doing here. You can see that line is now complete. We have an elliptical orbit around Duna. If we want to land, we need to change that elliptical orbit into a suborbital flight pattern. So basically a parabola here. We are at the apex or apogee of that parabola, and we are going to start falling initially slowly, but then faster and faster as gravitational force increases, and that acceleration causes our velocity to increase. So here we are approaching the surface. Did crash on a previous attempt, so this is actually a loaded game. And oh my gosh, look at this landing. It looks so beautiful. He's doing a great job. You'll notice there's a thin atmosphere, as there is on Mars. I don't believe parachutes would work nearly as well as they do in Kerbal Space Program, but those have deployed successfully. We're slowed down 24, 23, 22 meters per second. Looking pretty good there. We want to land probably around 5 meters per second. Gentler the better. We don't want parts to break off of our rocket, especially with fuel sources and ignition, and create a potential explosion, and that might be the end of our Kerbals. And we have a nice soft touchdown there. Rocket is stable. It is upright, which is a nice thing. Now we've landed a pretty large rocket here. I'm going to deploy some ladders for our Kerbals to be able to get out. I picked our scientist, Bob, to go and explore the surface of Duna on an EVA. And he's going to gently get down, and oh my God, he just fell off the rocket. He must have missed a rung because he has been deconditioned from spaceflight. So he pops back up on his feet because he's not real. And he goes about his mission. First thing he's going to do is get some soil samples, make a little scientific report, and plant a flag, a beautiful flag with the Kerbal logo. And we don't have enough fuel, so we're going to put this one in memoriam to all of these Kerbals who just landed, because they are doomed. All right, that being said, he's going to work his way back over to the rocket. He's going to go through that ladder. He's going to clip right through that landing strut because he's a ghost. And he's going to do some science. You notice we have several science apparatuses aboard this particular craft. They add weight, but also things for the Kerbals to do. All right, I'm going to save the game here. As you notice, we do not have very much fuel, and we're not on a great part of the planet. Not terrible, but not great in terms of getting into an efficient orbit. All right, I transferred all the fuel from those fuel tanks to the main fuel tank, and we're going to use that main engine. It's going to cut some mass, and it's also a little bit more powerful rocket. Let's go get up to apogee, turn our craft sideways, and see if we are able to make orbit. And that fuel is counting down, 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 and we are almost on empty. This is like me driving back home from Maryland, and we're out of fuel. And we're going to go retrograde. We don't have anything to burn in order to slow our craft down. We're doing 600 some meters per second. I'm going to burn some monopropellant, which is mostly a stabilizing kind of fuel in this game, used for various maneuvers, but not really that useful for adjusting one's velocity. Doesn't add much delta V. So let's get rid of that engine, which is now useless. Let's get rid of those fuel tanks. That's just weight. That's just mass. It's going to bring us to the surface. harder. Let's deploy these small parachutes here and see if they can help us avoid a hard landing. We've got a nice big main chute. Everything looks beautiful again. Probably not a good plan on actual Mars, but Duna is a little bit more forgiving than the real red planet. We're doing 27 meters per second. Okay, thank God everybody lived. Look at everybody. Oh, never mind. We moved them to that capsule, and that capsule has now been destroyed. But through the magic of video games, we have a new save here. So we're going to leave them stranded on Mars to do some science, and maybe a rescue mission can get them in the future. Thank you for watching.